Hey everyone, I am so freaking excited to be filming right now, and I'm just gonna address the elephant in the room. Yes, I'm obsessed with Friends. I have even another shirt with Friends on it. I had to get that out in the air because it's just, I needed that as my background, but also this is where the lighting is. It's decently late at night, so this is like the only goodish lighting I can get. Okay, I don't have my glasses on because there's a glare. All right, I'm gonna be talking about life lessons. So I just turned 21. It is September 8th, I think, right now. Almost September 9th. It's pretty late. And I turned 21 in August. I won't say the exact date. So I waited a little bit to make this video. I was ready. The date of my birthday, I was making the video. I'm making a lot of TikToks recently. Here's my TikTok inspired. Always inspired 20. I made a TikTok account with Dreams Happen 2 in 1 like a lot of years ago, and I don't remember the password, so that's not my TikTok. Anyways, I've been making a lot of TikToks, so like I was so into the creative mode. But when it came to my birthday, ever since then till now, every time I'm ready to film, I just wasn't in the right mindset for it. Like obviously I'm not gonna be fake on camera, but you still wanna be in a good mood when you're filming, because then you're just kinda like, you seem so boring. You seem so stiff when you're filming if you're not in a good mood. I want it to be interesting, you know? Especially with a video like this, like you don't want to be in a sad mood because then it's going to be even more boring. So I'm really excited to be filming right now. I'm so ready. I have some life lessons pre-thought of, and then I have some that I'm going to think of on the spot, but everything I say is really important. I've lived 21 years of life. I actually made the same video for my 18th birthday, so I'll link it down below and it'll be in the cards either now or later or sooner, whichever happens. So yeah, let's get started. Stop the rainbow. We're gonna start with the newest thing I learned because this is such an important life lesson I learned. The overall thing I learned was don't expect things out of love. And I always knew this, but I just learned it at such a deeper level. When you give, don't expect the same thing to be given back. If you have certain expectations in love, in friendships, in relationships, and whatever, you're gonna be disappointed. Don't think, for example, like, if you think this one friendship is a certain way, think that for yourself, but don't expect them to think of that friendship in the same way that you do. Like, you could think someone's your best friend, and you could think your relationship is the most strongest relationship you ever had. You tell them everything, you trust them with everything, you know you'll never not be friends, like you're always gonna be friends. Don't expect them to have the exact same thought process of your friendship as you do, because they're not you. You can't read their mind, and that's a little bit unfair to be like, you have to tell me everything because I want to tell you everything. That's very hard for me because I'm close to someone. I want to know them and get to know them and all this stuff, but hopefully I explain that in a good way. With true love, and that can be friendship obviously, there's no expectation. When you give love, you don't expect it to be returned. And obviously you should know your worth, and if you're treated badly or in a toxic relationship or friendship, that's not good. I'm just saying, if it's a healthy friendship, don't have expectations. Hopefully I said that right. I've been having a lot of, so this is number 2. I've been having a lot of signs in life to make sure that I live my life to its fullest. I'm not saying YOLO because you shouldn't be stupid. I'm saying live every day like it's your last. But again, not in the YOLO way, in the way that you tell people you love them when you love them. You do what you love. You're kind to other people. You don't take each day for granted. You should be thankful each day of your life. Sorry for that sound. If you hear it throughout, I'm gonna try not to film while that's going on, but it happens like a lot, so that's my air conditioner. But yeah. Another important thing is to don't compare yourself to other people. The main thing I mean in that is don't compare your life to someone else's life. Don't compare your timeline to other people's timeline. Don't compare your success to other people's success. Just because, I'm just gonna say random stuff right now, just because you're 20 and someone else is 20 and they're rich and famous and they're already married or whatever at that point, doesn't mean you need to be doing the same thing. That's an example. Like, your own story and timeline is yours. It's not gonna be the same as someone else's. Just because yours is different doesn't mean you're not as successful. It doesn't mean your life isn't beautiful. The standard that everyone says beauty is only one type of beauty. There's so much other types of beauty. Like, how you look is beautiful because there's not one definition of beautiful. So this is actually a quote from One Tree Hill. I think Julian says it to Brooke or to someone, but it's happiness is a mood, not a destination. Everyone, when you ask them, they're like, what do you want out of life? And they say, to be happy. You hear that so much, and it seems like a good thing to say, but in my opinion, that's not a great goal to have, because your success isn't in your happiness. Your success is in how you treat people, who you are, and what you do with your life. Your happiness is an emotion. It's not a destination to say, oh, I'm good now because I'm happy. It's a mood. One day you could be the most successful person and not be happy. You could be so kind to other people and not be happy. And it's okay not to be happy all the time. Like, if you're trying to be happy all the time, that's not really healthy, because that's only one of the emotions you're supposed to be feeling in your life. So that's just something to think about. Happiness is a mood, not something to achieve out of life. I keep forgetting to say the numbers. We're at number 5. Don't be too self-centered. And this is not me saying like you're selfish. What I mean is, take yourself out of the mindset that the world revolves around me and realize that I am inside of the world. So not everything revolves around you. Try to think about other people before yourself. Be generous, be selfless. That'll actually make you happier. Like, giving to other people and doing things for other people will actually make you happier. If you just worry about yourself, you're never gonna be happy, because there's always something to worry about. There's always, and honestly, that's another thing. Like, people always say, oh, I look so ugly today, or oh, I sounded so annoying in the video. Most of the time, people are worrying about themselves compared to other people, so they probably won't even notice what you're worrying about, because they're worrying about themselves. So I know I said to don't have expectations and to be selfless, but also tie that in with know your worth. Don't settle. Like, do all those things, but also if someone's treating you badly, if they're toxic, if they're hurting you, if they're not good for your mental health, it's okay to let them go. Try to get out of those patterns of being in toxic friendships and relationships, and also realize that you could be toxic for yourself. So knowing your worth also means getting out of those toxic habits in yourself. Number 7 is this: open-mindedness. That's what everyone talks about. Open-mindedness is being able to listen to other people's perspectives and realize that you may not know everything, and to be open to other ideas and perspectives than your own. It's be respectful and realize that you may not always be right, because we have these core values in ourselves, but then we also have things that we think and believe that aren't like our core belief systems. That you still can have a little lenience in, but there's some truths that are just truth to you. And I don't think truth is just to yourself. I think truth is just truth. There's right and wrong, good and bad, but there's also things that are a little bit in the gray area. That's where compromise and being open-minded comes in. And that could be politics, that could be, shoot, you're being loud again. Okay, I didn't want to do this because I didn't want to just cause issues, but I'm just going to give an example of what I mean by this. Like, my core values are, I believe in love and truth and being kind to other people. I believe in God. I'm Catholic. I think that if the world cared more about other people than themselves, we'd be much happier. I believe in family, no matter what your family is. But other things I believe that I can, and even those I can, I can still learn about other religions, and I'm gonna be respectful about it. Or if you're not religious, I'm gonna respect you about that. That's nothing but being open-minded. Just because I full-heartedly believe in my religion, I'm not gonna change my religion, because it's my faith. Like, that's who I am, and also if I was that easily changing my faith, it wouldn't be faith. But that doesn't mean I can't be open-minded. I can't be open-minded in the sense that I won't change my opinion about, I won't change my faith, but I will still be respectful and listen to what your faith has to say or your non-faith has to say, and I will try to understand where you're coming from. But if it's something that I can change my opinion on, like politics, just a normal conversation you're having, like if you're learning something new about a protocol in the medical field or in the government or anything, that's where your core values are going to affect it. So you got to think about that. But that's where you should be open-minded in the fact that you can be right, you can be wrong. Try to have a conversation where you actually come to an understanding of one another, and maybe you'll change your mind about it, maybe you won't, but be open to that. That's kind of what I mean. It's kind of hard to explain without you knowing me, and I would go more detail, but I don't want to give my whole life story on YouTube, which I pretty much do all the time. So that's that. What makes up who you are? That's you. But also realize that you can be wrong, and also you can compromise on things. Just because you believe something doesn't mean part of what someone else says isn't true as well. So open-mindedness isn't, oh, I'm open-minded as long as you agree with me because what I think is right. Even if you're doing good with what you think, you still should be open-minded and try to respect other people's opinions and just try to work with other people, or else nothing's going to get changed. If you don't try to work with people and compromise and respect one another and realize that not everyone's going to think what you think, nothing will get done. It really won't. I know that's hard to think about. We are at 8. Something to think about is you're always learning. In school, in life. Even if when you're out of school, you're always learning something. If you're not in school, you're learning something. You could be learning about Black Lives Matter, about saving the children. You could be learning also about yourself. You could be learning about your friends. You could be learning random facts. You could be learning in school. When you're in your career, you're always learning. Like, you're not, once you get your whatever job it is, you're not going to stop there. You're going to keep growing and learning if it's in your area or if you want to get ahead and get higher up or something. You're always learning. Be open to that. This is just a message I need for myself. This is 9. It's one assignment. It will not kill you. Meaning, if you get a bad grade or something, like let's say you get all A's or something and you get 1 B in a class, especially in college, as long as you have a good GPA, you're okay. It's not the end of the world. If you get 1 D on an assignment and you tried your best, it's okay. Go to the next thing. That's not your whole worth is in 1 test grade, okay? That doesn't mean to never try. Like, also, I need to tell myself, you're gonna be mad at yourself later if you don't try harder, so don't procrastinate and just get your job done. Get your work done, okay? Netflix will always be there. You spend enough time on Netflix, just get your work done. You'll be happy with yourself when you do that, okay? It's kind of a balance. Okay. Before you can love someone else truly and fully and purely, you have to love yourself. I've mentioned this in some videos. They can love you. I don't think if you're in a relationship, they can't love you because you don't love yourself. That's not true. They can love you, but you can't purely love them. You can love them, but it won't be pure. Because if you don't love yourself, you will be jealous. You will be selfish in love. You'll have expectations. You will not be happy for their successes. Some of those things, all those things, I don't know you. Those things will get in the way of your love for other people. Once you truly love yourself, you'll be happy for other people's successes. You won't be jealous. You won't have expectations in your love for other people. That's really hard to think about, but it's really true. You really need to work on yourself. And if you're religious, your relationship with God and you comes first. Then you could bring a partner into the relationship, because then it's not just you and your partner, it's you, your partner, and God all in one. So you really need to have your love and you with God. You really need to know your relationship with God before you be with someone else in the right way, because He's a big part of your relationship with your partner. So yeah, and that's really hard. That's why you really need to work on yourself and your relationship with God before being with someone, and that's hard because obviously me, I've never had a boyfriend, ever. I've never kissed anyone. The thing the most done with someone I liked was held their hand, and that was a long time ago, let me tell you. So it used to be really hard for me, but I actually read this book called, I actually read this once and I reread it pretty much. I'm almost done with it, if you could see. So it's this book. It's Praying for Your Future Husband, Preparing Your Heart for His, Robin Jones Gunn, and Tricia Goyer, 2 authors. So this book has helped me so much think about my relationship with God and my future husband. So it made me realize that it's just not my time to be with anyone yet. And there's so much in this book that helps, so definitely recommend it. How I got a lot of my views are from this book, and then a book called Rediscover Jesus by Matthew Kelly. So those are 2 books I really recommend, and they're very helpful, like life-changing. Especially chapter 10 in the Matthew Kelly book, Rediscover Jesus. It talks about how loving yourself affects your relationships with other people and loving other people. So I actually made a video all about that. Hopefully I'll link it in the cards if I remember. But if not, it's on my channel. You could just look up Dreams Happen 2 in 1 and put loving yourself and how it affects other people, and it will show up. So yeah, that was a long one. We're at 11. So confidence is good. You can be confident and you can be kind and humble. Vain and cockiness is not good. So if someone's loving themselves, don't hate on them, okay? And also, you don't need to hate on someone else. You don't need to hate on one person to uplift another, okay? You can uplift one person and not hate on anyone, okay? There's nothing good out of hating on someone. So yeah, that's just something to think about too. Right when I turned it on, literally every 2 seconds this thing goes off. 12. Mental health is so important. Like, people don't take that seriously, and it is so real, and so many people are struggling with mental health, and you don't even know it. Like, it really affects your every decision in life, your every thought. So just don't listen to stereotypes. Take your mental health seriously, and take other people's mental health seriously, and realize that everyone's fighting their own battles. This is something for myself that I see to realize. I love understanding people's sides, like their point of view. I love knowing people's perspectives. I'll be talking to someone, and after we're done with our conversation, when they leave, I will think about the whole conversation and try to think from their perspective, and during the conversation too. But if I don't have enough time in the conversation, because I'm having the conversation too and trying to say what I want to say, I'll try to think of their opinion and why they think it, and kind of think about, and some of it is too much where I overthink, like, did I hurt their feelings? Were they annoyed with me? All that stuff. So I really dive deep into that. So this is really for me. You cannot read people's minds, and they cannot read yours. So you definitely should try to know their side and their perspective and their point of view. But also, don't assume you know it just because you're thinking about it. You could be wrong and you could be right, but you don't know that. Also, they can't read your mind. So if there's an issue, just tell them. Like, they should be trying to reach out to you and care, but also realize they cannot read your mind either. So don't get mad at them for not being able to read your mind, okay? No matter what, no matter who you are, what you've done, where you live, anything, you are not alone and you are loved. God is always there for you. He has a plan for you. He wants what's best for you. He's always listening. He has so much hope for you, and he has so much love and forgiveness. So you are never alone. If you feel alone, you are not. God is always there for you. And also, there are people in your lives that care about you even if you don't know it. For a long time, I was feeling very isolated, and I didn't just feel the relationship with God. Even though I still believed him, I didn't feel it. And I watched this video by Far Away Distance and talked about relationships and God, and it said, you may not always feel that love, but it's a choice in life to love someone. And even if you don't feel it, it is there. That's with God and people. So that's just something to think about, and it's really important to know. Well, that's weird angle. That was number 14, but we're going to take a little break because I have to go on rounds. I'm an RA. So when we get back, we'll keep on going. This is going to be such a hard video to edit because I'm talking so much and I'm not the best speaker. I think a lot of things in my head and it just doesn't come out right sometimes. So, sorry, editing Hope. Gotta reapply my lip gloss because I was wearing a mask. Okay, we are at number 15. So 15 is to put yourself out there. Honestly, most of the time when you put yourself out there, you don't regret it. And I try to tell myself, live by the motto, I'd rather live with regret than live thinking, what if? It's that simple. And this also can apply to, like, in school or something, or at work. If you don't know what's going on or you have a question, don't be afraid to ask, because honestly, I did have a very condescending teacher in high school. And every time you ask him a question, most of the time he'd make you feel stupid. Every time. But guess what? I still asked, even though I felt stupid after, because then I still got my answer. I still knew what to do, and that made me feel better than not knowing what to do and feeling stupid. Which teachers should not make you feel stupid. It should not be condescending, but that's just an example. So yeah. This one might offend people, and I really hope it doesn't. I'm saying this for myself because I need to know this. We cannot decide what is right or wrong by ourselves. We need God for that. If we say, do what you want, live your life how you want, whatever makes you happy, if you think it's right, it's right. And if I think it's wrong, but we both could be right still. That actually doesn't make sense because that's That's us being God. We are not God. We cannot live by, well, I think it's right, so it's right, but you can think it's wrong and it's still wrong, even though it's the same thing, because we're playing God. There's only one God, and we can't be prideful. That's very prideful to think, well, what I say goes. That's not true. And I think it comes from a good place, but it's actually very wrong. Or it's like, you know, in religion, a religion is who you are. Your faith is who you are. It makes up everything. It should be making up everything about you. Everything you believe should stem from God. So if you just pick and choose what you believe in religion, that's you playing God because you think you know more than God. I am saying this because I don't know if many people think of it in that way, and that's something that I just recently thought about even more. So yeah, and honestly, God is God. He is so amazing. We can't even imagine how much wisdom he has in him. It's hard to even think about. He knows everything. And even when we die and go to heaven, we're going to know a lot more, but we still won't even know how much he knows. So we do not compare to God. And that's not a bad thing, you know. That's why we trust in God to guide us. We are imperfect, but we got to strive to be followers of Jesus the best way we can, but he still forgive us when we mess up, and then we keep trying and never give up on being the best version of ourselves. So yeah, we are at 17. We're getting close. Do what you love. Don't do something because you want to be famous. Don't do something because you want views. Don't be something to be liked. Do something because you love it and because it's good. And this means if you love reading, if you love science, if you love playing an instrument, do that. If you love sports, if you love hiking, if you love riding your bike, do that. And this could be interchanged. Anything you like doing, do it. If you like blogging, YouTube, singing, acting, I'm forgetting a lot of things people like to do. If you love your religion, you love God, you love politics, you love speaking, you love making people laugh, anything you love doing, do it. And do it for the good of other people. Don't do it for yourself in vain. Do it for God and for other people. We need to stop saying that once you get old, you aren't beautiful anymore. Like, there's actresses, especially it's on women a lot, like Anne Hathaway. Oh my gosh, I love her so much. She's so beautiful. Definitely beautiful. And the one thing everyone says is she's so beautiful she does not age. Same with Selena Gomez. Love her so much. Seriously do. And they're both so humble and talented and just real and amazing. So the thing is, that is true and that is beautiful, and I'd love to be ageless, or I'd love to, have smooth skin and still look like I'm 20 when I'm 30, let's say. I'm not saying their age, I'm just making up a number. But here's the thing, that's not the only way to be beautiful. Just because you have wrinkles, just because you have fine lines, just because you're aging, doesn't mean you're not beautiful. There's beauty in the journey. It shows you've lived. It shows you've been through things. It shows where you are at life right now, in life right now. And we need to stop saying that that's not beautiful. That's tearing other people down, because you know what? That's not the only thing that's important in life. I think someone who has wrinkles and has lived life is so beautiful, especially if they're a nice person. That matters more. If someone's beautiful, let's say the society standard of beauty, okay? Everyone knows what that is, okay? And they're the meanest person, no one likes them. But if you're not society standard of beauty, but you're still beautiful, and you care about other people, and you're nice, and you have good personality, people like you way more, which is not the only thing you should care about. If you know who you are, and you know you're doing your best, and you know you're doing what's right, and what you love, that's all that matters. If you're doing good and you care about other people as well. Because if people don't like you, that doesn't mean anything. People don't like people for the silliest of reasons, or for a reason. It doesn't matter. Maybe just don't mix with each other well, okay? Don't let that bug you. If you are doing what is right, and you are who you are, you're being you, that's what you need to do. You don't need to worry about people liking you. There's no value in that. That's just someone liking you. It's not a big deal. It happens that people don't like you. We're at 20, everyone. So this is the second to last one. Hopefully I said some good advice and good life lessons, but I've had a lot of ups and downs in friendships, and I've lost a lot of friendships and regained them or never gained them back, but everyone's left at good terms. and in high school and in college and in middle school and everything. But you know, the ones, once you get further away from the friendships, it doesn't hurt as much. But what I would say is friendships come and go. You know, don't just give up on a friendship if it's a really good friendship, but also if a friendship leaves you, don't take that as a personal attack. I do that all the time, and honestly, it's just a part of life. You grow and you change, and sometimes you can grow and change together, but sometimes you just separate, or distance separates you, and that's okay. You won't always be friends with the same people. I know that's sad to think about. 21. I realized this like last year and this year, that God works in mysterious ways, and I've always heard like God giving people signs, okay? And that never really happened to me. It did happen to me, but I just didn't notice it, so now I feel even worse because I'm like, okay, God is definitely here. He's listening. So where's my sign? I must be missing it. But God speaks to you in so many ways that you don't even realize. And so many times, I'm going to give an example to explain it better. So last year, there was a time where I was like, during the school year, I was just getting busy and I didn't feel like hanging out with people as much. So I wasn't hanging out with my RA friends as much as I was in the beginning of the year. I was so stressed because I'm like, I'm going to regret this. Like, I need to hang out with them more. I'm not hanging out with them enough. I'm going to miss them and all this stuff. And then it turns out pretty much everyone who was trying to get rehired that were my RA friends all got rehired, and we were all in the same building. Like, right after I was stressing about that. Like, come on. They were all hired. We all got in the same building. And that normally does not happen. So, one, that shows that we're all pretty good RAs. And two, that was just a sign from God that I took. And I'm just saying, God works in mysterious ways. You may not always see that He's doing something for you. He's always working for you in ways you don't know. So, but I just want to say, you are all so beautiful inside and out. You're all so strong and amazing. And you are going to do great things. You can live a simple life and still do amazing things by just loving other people and living in God's truth. So if you got to this point, you're a real one. Thank you so much. And I hope this video helped you so much. I hope it did. These are the type of videos I actually love making the most. Today I was in a talkative mood, so I'm sorry about that if you don't like that. But thank you so much for watching. Please like this video if you liked it. Subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified when I do videos. More coming soon. I have a lot of ideas coming your way. Love you all so much, and see you soon. Bye. Stay safe and healthy.